Hi everyone, I have just done the most amazing podcast with a lovely lady by the name of Laura. Laura, you'll hear the podcast hopefully very soon. Laura is a client of ours who's lost a lot of weight, and wow, she has some story particularly with regarding to health and how weight loss helps with your health. And one thing popped out in the podcast that she said, coming in here to the clinic, or for any of you listening or watching going to a clinic, taking time out for yourself was such a huge thing for her, and she said such an important thing for her to do, and that time when she was answering the mental weight questionnaire made her think about why she was eating and made her think about her life. So she came out in the podcast, and it was really interesting that how valuable it was to her and how precious that time was to her. And we're always saying, don't feel guilty, you owe it to yourself. So even recently I saw an article that Professor Jim Lucy in Trinity College, he is a professor of psychiatry, and he actually recently published a book, and the book is called A Whole New Plan for Living. And the idea came from his father in 2020, and when his father was on his deathbed, he asked Professor Lucy, what would your plan be for a whole new way of living? And that's how Professor Lucy came up with this book. And the first step, it's a 10-step plan. The first step, it says in this book, is to make self-care, make time for yourself. So I would encourage, if any of you are feeling guilty about leaving the kids with your hubby, or vice versa, or taking some time out to come into the clinic or do an online assessment, whatever, please don't, because as the L'Oreal ad says, you're worth it, because you're worth it. And you'll hear Laura talk about that, how valuable that time is, time out for herself. So I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon.